Hello, I'm Kelly with fitnessblender.com, and today I have a board easily lower body workout that combines Pilates and just a pinch of HIIT and a very varied strength training workout. So all you're going to need for this is dumbbells, possibly some resistance bands if you like to add some extra challenge, or you can do this whole thing with just your body weight. I've included both your warm-up and cool-down. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, our warm-up is part cardio, part Pilates, so we're gonna start off nice and easy, just with a march in place. So get those knees up as high as you can as they warm up. Add in some arms if you like to get some total body movement in there and get totally warmed up for what we have ahead. It helps to turn on some music to help yourself through those tougher intervals with the motivation. Stand up nice and tall while you're doing this. Try to control that movement instead of just flailing. You want it to be strong. All right, next up we're going to do an arm cross butt kick. So swinging those arms in front of the body. Switch which ones is on top each time and kicking yourself in the butt. So 30-second intervals here, and like I said, we're going to drop down to the floor and do a little bit of Pilates before we work into that HIIT. All right, next up we're going to be doing a forward bend plus a front kick. So right here, okay, good morning, come down, nice flat back, and kick. When you come up, there, and kick. Next up, we've got side lunges plus side sweeps. So we're going to the side, get that upper body in there again. It's okay if this motion is shallow initially, still just getting warmed up. But you're bending that knee, keep the other leg straight, and kind of redistribute the weight into that opposite foot. All right, our last little cardio warm-up here is going to be a walk down. So warming up the backs of those thighs, the lower back, and the upper body. Come down, walk yourself out, and then right back up. Remember, you can bend your knees if you feel like you're a little stiff in the hamstrings. Two and one. All right, this next time, go ahead and stay down, and we're gonna start into a few Pilates exercises to really wake up those glute muscles and have an even smarter HIIT and strength workout. So here we're gonna start pulling that toe up towards ourselves, starting stretched out overhead, and we're gonna be taking that arm and leg up to meet one another. We're gonna do 8 reps of a variety of Pilates exercises. Inhale as you drop those legs and arms. Exhale as you come back up. Two more right here. Next up, we are going to be going back and behind the body. So similar range of motion. This time our arm is going to drop down in front of us as the leg goes up and back. And then back down. Same breathing pattern here. Exhale during the hard part. All right, 3 more. Last one right here. All right, next up we're doing a clamshell, so stacking those feet and those knees And you're keeping your hips stacked, so without opening up the hips, you're just bringing those knees apart. Try to use the same range or the same speed on the way up as the way down. And remember that exhale part. Exhale the harder part of the motion. So inhale as you bring your leg down. Exhale as you come back up. Two more. All right, so next up we're doing the same thing, keeping those feet and knees stacked, lifting those legs up, and same thing right here. Our lifted clamshell this time. There's one. Halfway. Number 5. All right, one more of these. And then we're going to stretch back out, still on our sides, one more on this side before we switch. And we're going to be doing circles. So full circles as clean and as large as you can control, really going back and behind the body, in front. We'll do 3 in each direction. Slow and controlled. All right, so on the bottom of this rep, whichever way you were going, reverse that circle. Try to keep those hips still stacked so you're not rolling over. You're just staying in that same position. So the muscles are doing all the work. All right, here's our last circle. Okay, so now we're going to repeat that on the opposite side of the body. So stretching out again. Overhead, take a nice deep breath and start it up. There's 4, that's our halfway point. Two more right here. All right, now same thing, we're going back and behind the body. So get ready with that arm dropping in front as a counterbalance. There's 1. So you should be feeling this right here, right in your glute medius. Okay, 2 more of these. All right, so stacking those feet and knees when you're going back into that clamshell. Remember to keep this stacked nice and clean. Even if it's a small range of motion, it's better that you have less range of motion and are targeting the right muscle. So don't feel discouraged if it's just a little tiny movement. You can always add a band. I wouldn't recommend necessarily adding a band unless you're warmed up before you start this warm-up, because it does step up the intensity quite a lot, but through the rest of this routine there are plenty of opportunities to add bands and step up the challenge. All right, kicking those feet in the air a little bit. We're doing that tilted clamshell, lifted clamshell. Here we go. Start that up. Three more of these. There's 2, and our last one right there. All right, so resting those feet, extending. Now we're going back to that circle. So big wide circle, both forward and back, 3 in each direction. 1, 2, and Here's our third one. I'm going to switch directions right here. Last circle. All right, so now we're moving on. Just a couple more of these to go. We're gonna do supine lifts here. So pointing that toe back up at yourself, nice and strong, straight leg, up, right about to the level of that other leg, and then slowly back down. Just hover over the ground, or you can rest here if you need more of a challenge. Same breathing pattern. Inhale on the way down, exhale as you come back up. Last one right here. All right, so switching sides, kick that opposite leg out, take a nice deep breath. Here we go. Two more. All right, we're done with that. Now we're moving on to a bridge. Just a few more exercises. Here we go, pressing up through those heels, nice and strong. There's our halfway point. Two more. And last one right here. All right, so our last exercise, we're gonna be doing a kneeling lift on either side. So you can do this from all fours right here, or you can go down further for a little bit range of motion. That's up to you. Otherwise, starting up, hinging at that hip, knee at a 90-degree angle. Here's 4. Seven, and here's 8. There's 8 more repetitions standing between us and a quick HIIT routine. So switching to that other side, here we go. 1, 2, don't forget to breathe. 2 more. All right, so that was our warm-up, and with a little pinch of Pilates, we're gonna move right into that HIIT next, so get ready. All right, in the true nature of a Board Easily workout, we're only doing each of these HIIT exercises 1 time each. So do your best to push yourself, gently push yourself while respecting your own boundaries. And remember, you can switch between the high and low impact modifications. So we are starting off with a monster walk. So right here, sinking into that squat, just take 2 steps forward with each foot and then back. Remember to lead with a different foot each time. If you have bands, this is a great place to add them. Stay low for as long as you can. 5 seconds left. All right, next up, already done with that one, we have a split jump. So you're gonna be landing nice and soft, switching those feet back and forth, moving as quickly as you can. Here we go, so jumping those feet apart. Remember your low impact option. You're just going to be switching back and forth. So do what you need to challenge yourself today. All right, next up, we're going to be doing jumping jacks. So take a nice deep breath. All right, here we go. So move as quickly as you can with full range of motion. Remember your low impact option. And remember not to hold your breath. All right, next up we have a squatted side step plus a jump. So I'm going to be moving from side to side here. Here we go. So squat down over here and jump. So if you want to make it low impact, just cut out the jump and replace it with a calf raise. Five seconds left. All right, next up we have burpee holds. So I'm going to be dropping down into a burpee and then popping up. Instead of jumping, we're going to hold a squat. So down, up, and stay right here. An easier version, just walk out into that burpee. All right, next up, we're going to be doing a side lunge center jump. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Off to the side, jump in the center. Low impact, just cut out that jump in the center. All right, next up we have jump squats, which I have a little heart next to on the board up there. It's been a long time since I've been able to do these in a video. Here we go. So sinking down and exploding up as powerfully as you can. And your low impact option, just stay right here. Again, with that calf raise. 5 seconds. All right, so next up we have a split jump squat. This is already our last bout of HIIT. We just want to get a little sweaty before we get into that strength training. So we're going to be jumping apart, and down. Make sure you're leading with a different leg each time. Low impact, boom, boom, down. 5 seconds. All right, so that is our HIIT already. Grab your weights if you have them, and we'll jump into our strength training. All right, we're doing our strength section, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds rest, so a nice quick transition. We are starting off with a single leg deadlift. So you're gonna be balancing just on one leg, the other leg coming out straight behind you, slow and controlled, all the way down as far as you can control, and then back up. If you're feeling like you're having trouble with balance, you can also stagger your stance to get the similar effect with the muscles without having to rely entirely on your balance. Though will start to help you build up balance because it is a less stable position. So do what you need to in this case. See if I can balance in this white room. I always have the hardest time with this exercise on this background. It just makes me feel dizzy. Slow and controlled. Try to keep your body facing the ground so you're not opening up. Two and one. All right, there's our first break here. So we're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. Otherwise, there are no repeats in this little strength workout we've got here. 5 seconds left, so get set up on that opposite side. All right, here we go. I'm gonna fall over anyway. All right, I'm gonna stick with this. This Willy Wonka room is messing with my balance. Do the best you can. Keep your back nice and flat. Draw through those glutes to pull yourself back up. Inhale on the way down. Exhale as you come back up, nice and strong. All right, got those down. Next up, we're gonna be doing a curtsy lunge. So pick your weights that you need. I'm gonna use just a single weight on this one. All right, so weight right in front of your chest and dropping down and behind the body. Come up nice and tall. Pull in your core. Make sure you're not rounding your shoulders or your back. And remember, this is an excellent workout even without dumbbells. So if you have to drop your weight, don't feel bad. It is still effective. As long as you are challenging yourself, your own personal fitness level, you're doing what you need to. 5 seconds left. All right, next up we're gonna be doing a sumo plus a side leg raise. You can hold 2 weights, you can hold 1 weight. I'm gonna do this just body weight. There's another one that's going to require a little bit of balance, which is great for the core and just moving about your daily life, right? These are things we need. So nice wide stance with those toes pointed out, sinking down between those 2 legs, coming up on that leg, nice and smooth transition for a strong lift there. No swinging, no momentum, just all muscle work. 20 seconds left. There's 10 seconds. 5. All right, next up we have reverse lunges. So again, you can do this with 1 weight or 2. Okay, standing up nice and strong. Nice and tall, check your posture here. Shake out those muscles if you need to. All right, we're gonna be alternating, stepping back and behind the body, splitting the weight between those 2 feet, dropping down right between those 2 feet. All right, next up, we're gonna be doing a squat plus a kick. So nice smooth move again here, coming up. You can even start to develop more strength than just isolated leg by focusing on coming up on that leg that you're going to be supporting with as you kick. Or you can press up through both feet. I missed this kind of strength training. I have to tell you, I love huffing and puffing my way through a lifting workout. It feels good. Never take your movement or your mobility for granted. Even the little things. All right, next up, we have deadlifts with a twist. We're doing a double dip deadlift. So what that means is we're gonna stop halfway up, coming out of that range of motion, and then just go right back to the bottom. So sit up nice and tall, keep that back flat, coming down. Once you're at the bottom, come part way up, back down, and then complete your rep. Slight bend in your knees. Whew. Keep going, 10 seconds left. All right, next up we have a pivot squat. So this is one I kind of like one weight for again, but you can do it either way. Standing here in the center, and be opening up on one foot to pivot, and once you're there, do a squat. Come back to the center and repeat on the opposite side. So try to make sure that your step looks the same. Your step out looks the same on either side. Make sure you're carrying all the regular rules of a good squat. So flat back, eyes up, pulling in your core, sinking into those heels, pressing up through the heels to come out of that squat. Ten seconds. All right, next up we're going to forward lunges. I'm use 2 weights for this one, just 4 pounds. I'm basically using between 4 and 8 pounds for all of these. I am starting over right now. This is where I am at, and I've got to respect it. But the good news is that you can lift, this routine looks basically the same, it's just the amount of weight that you lift. You could lift 100 pounds doing this, and it will be a lot harder, but it won't look a whole lot different than the rest of it. Keep it going, body weight split between those 2 legs, core pulled in tight, nice upright posture. The wider you step out, the harder it is to get back, and the more challenge on your balance. All right, next up we have a boomerang lunge. I'm gonna grab 1 weight for this one. Basically just a personal preference about whether you like to hold on to 1 dumbbell or 2. All right, so we're splitting this interval between the 2 sides. Back and behind yourself in a curtsy, then straight out to a side lunge. All right, so right here, I'm gonna switch sides. So now this side is going to do the curtsy and the side lunge. Oh, I'm gonna fall over. Under 10 seconds left. All right, next up, I'm gonna drop down to the mat for a bridge. So I'm gonna use 1 weight for this too. It's okay if you're behind the timer a little bit, it's just a loose guide. Don't panic. All right, so weights on your hips, pressing up through those heels. This is another one where you can kind of stick the landing. Just enjoy the burn at the top of the range of motion. All right, so here's our last exercise. This one is just a nice little burnout for those glutes. So laying on the stomach, pressing those feet together. I'm gonna be raising up off of the ground. And you should definitely feel your glutes talking to you here. If this is too tough, you can always do a back bow. Oh boy, otherwise, this is, Burn City. Go to your happy place. All right, slowly let that last rep go. All right, that is our strength session. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm a sweat city over here. Okay, now we need to cool down. So just take a second to check in with yourself, see where you're feeling this. Take some nice deep breaths, kind of in through your nose, out through your mouth. Try to slow your exhale down. So whatever your inhale is, try to double it on your exhale. So do a nice stretch overhead here. And forward fold. Just hang here for a second, kind of move around, shift the weight back and forth between your feet. Move your torso from foot to foot. All right, let's do that one more time. So kind of roll up. Nice deep breath in. And exhale. Do a forward fold. And then just a little bit of exploration here while we're here. Just some fluid, surveying the scene. How are our muscles doing here? All right, so let's start off with a warrior here. So putting that foot back behind yourself, kind of tilting those hips forward. If you feel a good stretch through this hip flexor. If you put your arm up, you'll feel that stretch deepen even more. If you lean forward, you can change it, and you can also lean to the side. So kind of alternate between those two really yummy stretches right now. All right, switch sides. Tuck those hips. Feel a nice stretch there. Once you've got that locked in, extend that arm. And feel free to move around within your stretch. Look at that side lean. All right, let's go ahead and stretch our quads. I know they got a good working over today. So pulling that foot up to your butt till you feel a stretch through the front of your thigh. All right, switch sides. All right, next up, we're gonna come over. You guys know that I love downward dogs, right? So I'm gonna just slowly make your way to your feet. Stretch with a flat back first. Kind of enjoy that stretch all along the back of your legs there. And when you're ready, go ahead and fold forward the rest of the way. Enjoy this for a couple of seconds. And then we're gonna walk ourselves out. Nice and slow. Just feel how that stretch changes as you walk yourself out. You can keep a bend in your knees if that's too much with your legs straight. But once we're here, try to push those heels on the ground and your head between your shoulders. All right, once you're here, if you'd like to take one leg up into a bit of a split and bend at the knee for a deeper stretch. And now we're going to straighten that leg back out and tuck it under ourselves for a nice pigeon stretch. So sinking back into this. And if this is too deep, again, just bend both of the knees and you can still get some stretch by leaning forward. You can also use some props here so that it's not quite as deep of a demand on those muscles. All right, go ahead and fold forward again. All right, so pressing back up, we're going to do that sequence on the opposite side of the body. So walking back up to that downward dog, taking the opposite leg into a split, enjoying this variation for a few seconds, and then tipping over into that knee bend. All right, now bringing this one underneath us, transfer your weight, and come sit up right between those legs. Take some nice deep breaths. All right, lean forward. All right, so now let's go ahead and kick our legs apart and do a stretch to each side here. First, facing down, facing that leg. All right, now rotate. So you're opening your body, so your shoulder is pointing towards that leg now, and then reach over. You're gonna get a really nice side stretch out of that. All right, now traveling down through the center here, nice and slow. Just migrate your way over to that other leg where we're going to repeat that. We're going to start facing the leg just before we open up like we did on the other side. All right, twist through that torso. Reach towards that opposite side of the body, over your body. All right, now kicking those feet together, I'm going to take one foot over that other leg, take your elbow, turn through the torso and the neck. So you get a nice stretch through your sides here. All right, go ahead and switch sides. Make sure to fold over that opposite leg there. Oops, I guess I have to do the opposite leg. So if any of these stretches, if you feel like you need more, you can always help yourself to extra stretches. So if any of these feel particularly good, feel free to revisit when we're done here. Foam rolling helps too. That feels really great after tough workouts. All right, so let's not forget our deep glute stretch, right? Our favorite. I'm gonna put, again, folding that leg over the other, and pulling in so you feel a good stretch through those glutes. All right, switch sides. right, now extend both feet in the air and pull those toes back towards yourself so you get a nice calf stretch. A little bit of stretch through these hamstrings here. All right, draw one leg down and extend the other. And just kind of let that hip relax and roll around in that joint for a second. All right, switch sides. Ooh. Make sure not to kick anything. All right, and let it relax. Okay, so we just got in some smart functional exercises in the form of that kind of extended Pilates warm-up. We did a pinch of HIIT, enough to get us a little sweaty and jump up that metabolism, wake up our bodies and minds a little bit. And then, of course, the all-important strength training, which is excellent, again, for the metabolism, mental health, physical health, all kinds of, the benefits to strength training are immense. So I hope you enjoyed this workout. I hope you feel good and accomplished about what you just did. You should. You just showed up for yourself, and that's a great thing. Good job, guys. This workout is complete.